Welcome back. In this exercise, we're going to talk about how we can work to format the navigational links that we've been building in the last couple exercises. We're going to specifically follow the book, page 146 and 147. And we're going to take a look at what we need to do to, in this case, move the links, move the navigation from the left menu to the top menu. On most web pages, those are the two common areas for main navigation menus, and that's where your users will generally look for the ability to navigate from place to place within your website. The book asks us to start by scrolling to a certain area of the page for the style sheet. I prefer to use the find function. It's Control F. You can see I can just type what I'm looking for and it'll bring me to that specific area. From there, we're asked to comment out, and we comment out certain lines by starting with a slash, forward slash, then an asterisk in the style sheet. And there's three particular lines in this first section that we're asked to comment out just because we won't need them anymore. Now, you could just delete these lines because essentially once they're commented out, a system will not use them. They'll just ignore them. The reason we leave them in is basically in case we ever have to refer to them in the future. They'll still be there for us to look at if we want to go back and understand how things used to work before we start to make adjustments. But there's multiple ways to comment things out, and you've learned that in style sheets. We're just using this slash, then the asterisk, and then when we're done with the section we want to comment out, we're using an asterisk and then a slash. We're doing the same thing in another section, in the main content section. We're getting rid of the width parameter. And again, I say getting rid of. What we're really doing is commenting out that line because it does not need to be used as we start to move from the left menu onto the top menu. The next thing we're going to do is we're asked to create a new selector specifically for paragraph tags that are part of the nav.site navigation. And so that's a subset of the nav.site navigation rules that were up above, and we need to add the rule display inline block and add a margin. We're also asked to go back up to the nav.site navigation and add another rule related to alignment of the text. So we'll do that right here. Again, make sure that you always have between the name and the value a colon, and at the end of each name value pair a semicolon. We're going to go ahead and save this and then see how it looks. And you can see our navigation, which before we made these changes to the style sheet was on the left side, is now across the top, just as we desire it to be. We're going to go ahead and click around and see how it looks. Everything looks like it is in order. Now we're going to go back to the style sheet. We're going to look for another section. Again, the book says to scroll for it. We're just going to use the find, Control F, type in the word media, and we're sent to the right section. We're adding a new rule basically saying do not display during printing anything that is part of the nav element. And we'll see how this works. We're going back to the page and we'll actually try to print the page. And in the print peer view, you see that there is no navigation included. That's exactly what we wanted to happen. That's what happened when we put that last line in, that display equals none. And that was specifically related to the times when it's being printed. So that is the material for 146 and 147. You did some style adjustments in order to move the menu from a left column to a top column. Great job, and now on to the next lesson.